coming along to this. Was that a shush? Oh, it's down there. That's okay. Can you hear me? Fabulous. All right, thanks everyone for coming along. This is quite an amazing occasion, and I'm not nervous, but I've had a few drinks, so I thought on the back of that I'd write down what I was going to say. So if that's okay with you guys, I might read out what I prepared for Paul, and to kind of recognise the man and the nice. It's kind of important, but it's good to be here. So welcome. It gives me great pleasure to invite you all to the launch of Paul Winslow's book, Going Barmy, Dispatches from a Cricket Foot Soldier. I actually first met Paul in London in 2005, ironically in the middle of the most competitive and exciting Ashes series in 20 years. Though the end result of that series was horrible from an Australian perspective, the days Winslow and I spent watching Peterson and Warren dominate for our respective teams was brilliant, and cemented a friendship and respect that endured subsequent defeats of both sides. I realised at this time, it's actually quite annoying, this man likes cricket more than me. Damn it, bet my match. Sitting in the Barmy Army with Winslow is an honour I had bestowed on me for the first time in Leeds in 2006. We sat, we drank, surprisingly, we sang, friendships were made, and masses of Australian-related abuse was delivered on me. Some of you may think you know the man, but until you've seen him sat in an English cricket supporters, a sea of English supporters, in his element, you're missing out on a side of his personality you wouldn't have known elsewhere. This is actually kind of the nice part about you, so I might struggle to say this with sincerity, but anyway, someone else actually wrote this. Anyway, we'll remember it. Winslows' approach to life, travel and cricket is indeed a unique one. I'm confident there is nobody in this room that has been to as many countries as Paul has. I'm even more confident that there is nobody in this room that has watched as many days of cricket as Paul has. Over the years, it's been pretty easy to reflect on Paul as being lucky or fortunate to have done what he's done. He's often been able to conjure some kind of career or contract around his pursuit of what he dearly loves. As I got to know him better, it became clearer that this actually had nothing to do with luck or fortune. It had nothing to do with him knowing the right people. It was purely passion. Passion to experience the world, passion to support his country and cricket team, passion to make friends across all corners of the globe, passion to sacrifice the security of knowing where your next paycheck is coming from, because standing in the sun in a concrete stadium in Chennai, singing your lungs out meant more to him. I think that's pretty ballsy and brave. Yeah. Winslow's never been one to waste opportunities. I'm not sure at what point in his travels he realised that he might actually be able to turn some of his experiences into a novel that other people actually wanted to read. But when he did, I'm sure that nobody was surprised. To be published on your first attempt is apparently a very rare achievement. True to form, Winslow made things look easy. Testament to Winslow's popularity is the fact that we're actually all standing here tonight. A month or so ago, this book launch took place in London, again to a packed house. Sort of packed. Anyway.
Okay.
It's nice enough. There's people here.
There's no gaps.
There's no gaps. That's awesome. So, to be asked to introduce a great friend and writer at the Australian launch of his novel, Going Barmy, is indeed a wonderful privilege. Even though you'll have to forgive me, you'll have to actually forgive him for currently looking less like a well-travelled writer and more like a well-travelled flight attendant. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Winslow.
How do you follow that? Ladies, gentlemen, my bros. Firstly, a few thank yous. Thank you to all for being here, because it means a lot to me that in my second home there's still quite a lot of people. Not quite as many as England, but Australians have never been able to pack a crowd like English cricket fans. Too easy. Thank you to Heath for those kind words. When I just about finished the manuscript, keep an hour out having a beer one day, and I my surname in there? And I went, well, no. I said, do you want it in there? And he goes, oh yeah, please. Cool, I can put another word in. But knowing how easy it was to get people to be that nice about you, just by putting their name in the book, and I put Natalie Portman's in it and asked her to do the That's so be. Next time I'll put her in. He's not the only person who's here tonight who gets a mention in the book, and ultimately all the people who are mentioned in the book need a lot of thanks, because without them there wouldn't actually be a book, because all I did was write the stories. Wonderful Adi Sarkozy, who invited me out one night, and that night ended up with me singing to Dennis Lilly about all Australians being convicts. That went down quite well. Sue and Tim, who decided one day, well, yeah, we're going to get married one day. Well, we better get engaged this Christmas, because the next Christmas is the Ashes, and that means all the Poms will be in Australia, so they'll be able to come to the wedding. Anybody who actually doesn't like cricket whatsoever and arranges a wedding around a cricket series deserves a bit of credit. Talking about people who arrange their life around cricket who don't actually like the sport, there's a lady with a camera in her hand. If you said to her 2 years ago tonight, you'd have read a cricket book, you'd have been the MCG to watch cricket, you'd have paid for a Foxtel contract so your boyfriend can watch cricket, you'd have gone to Sri Lanka to watch cricket, she'd have probably said you were crazy. I think it just goes to show, and it's a real testament to what an amazing human being I am.
I wasn't holding my breath on that one.
Well, I didn't think that would work. So yeah, thank you to, like I say, everybody. Got some boring things. We're a bit late running, but that's Natasha Berger's fault. So yeah. But if you're drinking beer or wine, please put the next one on our tab. Have a drink on us.
513.
Eh?
513.
Don't shout it out too loud. Yeah, it's fine. 219.
There's no one else here.
In terms of the books, apparently we are going to sell some tonight. I'd like to sell 100 because I can't be bothered to carry them home. We'll be down here. Ray will take $20 off you. She'll also give you a postage note. Just put your name on the postage note for 2 reasons. A, last time I did this after 20, my brain became disconnected and I started just scribbling waffle, and I finally worked out why Prince changed his name from a name to a symbol, because it's just and also because some of you I haven't met that often, and it's socially embarrassing to ask you how to spell Paul. The other thing about doing a book launch, everyone said, well, you're going to do a reading from the book, and I went, well, who the hell wants to listen to me read from a book? It's not why you come out on a night out. But if you do a record launch, then you play the record. And if you do a film launch, then you play the film. If you do a book launch, you don't really do anything, and everyone goes, how's the book launch? Well, brilliant. What does everyone think? Well, I don't know, no one's ready yet. So, probably against my better judgment, I'm going to give you a tiny, tiny little smidgen. Now, to do this properly, as Charles Dickens would do, he'd probably get into character. Bear with me a second. Thank you.
Jesus, that moustache.
One more thing to get into character. Cheers everybody, thanks for coming. According to the inside flap of this book, and it's true because I wrote it. Paul Winslow was old enough to know better when cricket gripped him in its thrall. Having ignored its myriad charms for years, he let down his guard and found himself conscripted to the Barmy army, blindly following the England cricket team to Belfast, Barbados, Brisbane and beyond to feed his new addiction. His career stalled, homelessness ensued, and relationships came under strain. But none of it mattered as long as there was a cricket tour to go on. Going Barmy is not a history of the Barmy Army. It is a story of gradual cricket obsession and a personal insight into what life is really like with Barmy Army, both on tour and as a business. This unique consideration of sporting and cultural phenomenon opens the door of the songwriting, the camaraderie, the relationship with the players, and why the fact that Ambrosia make good custard could ever be relevant to the Barmy Army repertoire. So says the inside bit. So what does the introduction say? I won't read forward by going to one. I don't know what it's talking about. The introduction says, and did those feet in ancient times walk upon England's mountains, and was the holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen, and did the countenance divine shine forth upon those clouded hills, and was Jerusalem builded in among those dark satanic hills. Bring me my bow of burning gold, bring me my arrows of desire, bring me my spear, oh clouds unfold, bring me my chariots of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem on England's green and pleasant land. First and last time in my life I'll have singing somebody else. It's a Barmy Army tradition to sing Jerusalem at the start of every day's play, so it seems only apt to repeat it at the start of this tone. It doesn't have anything to do with cricket, but it's England's unofficial national anthem to match Flower of Scotland, hymns and arias for the Welsh, and Fields of Athenry for the Irish. You could argue that we cheapen it a bit with the hand movements that go with it. Bring my bow, Caesar's pulling an imaginary bow. Bring me my arrows is met with imaginary darts throwing. The spear is thrown, the clouds are parted with our hands, and the chariot of fire is enacted by pretend charioteering. For mental fight we point to our brains before drawing our imaginary non-sleeping swords. Our hands rise to the heavens as we belt out culminations. I'm not sure where the hand movements originated, but I've never seen them used by anyone other than us. For many of us, cricket is our religion, and we sing this song with as much gusto as any church choir, although, as you've just noticed, considerably less tunefully. I couldn't even begin to guess how many times I've sung Jerusalem around the world now, but it still sends a shiver down my spine when a good crowd sings it back by our resident trumpeter Bill Cooper. And it's not only the song I love, it's what it represents. As we sing Jerusalem, another day of Tish cricket is about to unfold before us. Another day watching the most complex and endearing of sports. And another day with a group of people who make watching that game fun, even when the sport itself provides little in the way of entertainment. Every day with the Army is the same. There's a group of like-minded people gather to watch the sport they love and get behind their team. And yet every day is different, as events on and off the pitch conspire to give each day its own personality. There's always a new story to tell, so I thought I'd tell mine all in one place. And if you want to read them...